So, welcome, Pedro Acosta.
Thank you.
I feel like already that says enough, no introduction needed. Red Bull KTM IO rider at the moment, 2024 MotoGP rider, current Moto2 championship leader. Who knows, if people aren't listening to this immediately when it comes out, maybe you will have already won it. But it's going quite well for you. So the first question that I always start with, because I think it's just polite, how are you? All good?
Not so bad, not so bad. Happy, for sure, better than last year.
For sure, better than last year. Well, I mean, it wasn't a bad year for you last year.
Was tough.
Really?
And imagine when you arrive for winning your first Moto3 World Championship, also coming from zero, the expectation was quite high and was tough to understand that everything takes time, no? And
I guess you'd never had that experience before, because when you arrived in Moto3,
the problem that I arrived to the Rookies Cup, I was vice champion first year, then I win it, then I come to the championship and I win Moto3, then I back to Moto2 and I was, I think, first after the Portimao Irtas. Was tough to understand why, no? At the end.
So you literally expected to just...
I'm not gonna say to win, but to be competitive from beginning, achieve some podiums, achieve some good results. But the problem that I go to Qatar, I was 12, then in Indonesia 8, and then I have 5 zeros. So was quite high, you know. At the end, in my first Moto3 season, that was not so normal. I only have 2 zeros in all the season for this. It was tough to understand and to accept, but that's the life, no?
You know, a lot of riders going into Moto2, if they took 12th on points in their first race, they'd be like, wow, it's a great start.
But the problem when you are KTM factory rider is like this, you know? At the end, you have the KTM colors, also the Red Bull colors, also Aki behind your shoulder for this. It's quite difficult to be happy when you finish 11, 12, also in top 10 for this. It's difficult to analyze, it's difficult to accept that sometimes the life is like this, for sure. This helped me to be more constant this year.
Well, we'll talk about this year in a little bit, and I also want to talk to you about kind of being in the middle of the tornado that is being Pedro Acosta, since you won that race from pit lane, pretty much. But first of all, for people who don't know, how did you start riding? What was it? When was it? Who gave you a bike, or did you ask for one? How did your interest start?
To be honest, my father was, before, have some track days, sometimes in a month with his friends and these things. And to be honest, I don't really like it at beginning bikes, you know. But I think when I have 4 years, something like this, he buy a mini cross bike. I remember it was blue with 27 of Stoner, and we go sometimes in the week to one football pitch to ride and to have some fun. And to be honest, I enjoy it. At the end, it was more funny to go cycling, no? And one day he was in doing these track days, and I was there, and was one school in the parking, no, with other guys, and my mother say, okay, let him try, you know. Like this.
So it's your mum that starts.
Yeah, it was the
legend.
one that do the first step, you know. And to be honest, it was funny, you know, because I was coming from riding alone in one football pitch, and I was starting to have a relationship with the guys. At the end, you ride with more people. That is always more funny, and like this, I start everything.
And then riding with them, then where did you start? Were you immediately one of the fast guys, or were you a little bit?
The problem, for sure, you know this history. The problem that we started when I was 4.5, 5, more 5, and we start like a hobby, and some fathers start to compete with his child and this thing, and we say, okay, we go also. I remember my first race was in Mallorca, and I remember was a lot of kids, and we have 2 groups, no? The A that was the fast one, and the B that was the slower one. I was the last from the B, and I say, fuck, this thing cannot be real, you know. And I remember that I cried in the grip also.
Oh no, another little Casey Stoner reference there. There's some of his stories in his book about him being the same.
But at the end, the second one was much better, also in the back of the group, but I start to enjoy, I understand how the race is going, how fun it was compete with your friends in these days. And I start to really enjoy go to competing was in these days Liga Interescuelas, and I really like it to go. It's true that in the end of the year we do a big step. I remember that I think the last race of the year I was in the Group A, but in the back of the group again. But we do a big step. I mean, like I say, I start to enjoy the atmosphere of competition and these things, and like this was.
Well, I mean, I like the fact that it's your mum who's like, yeah, have a go, and then actually you're like, okay, yeah, this is quite good.
Yeah, but the problem that I was quite, I'm not gonna say shy, but
I was gonna say I won't believe you if you say shy.
No. If you talk with somebody from my first year in Moto3, I was so shy, but I was a guy that was difficult to control when I was a kid. You know, I was always moving from one side to the other, and my mom cannot control me and say, "Okay, go." You know. But anyway, it was fun at the end. Like this, everything start for sure. It's the girl that go with me every day to train every day, and at the end she stopped working to can help me to go to the trainings for this. At the end, she's the person that really pushed for my career.
Okay, so how do we go then from the back of Group A, good step, then to kind of becoming a professional, and what are the steps on the way to the
I think after this year we do one more in this championship, and the third year we go to a Spanish championship with one, I remember was purple bike and blue, and I think we didn't win it. But in Valencia Championship was Moto2 before. We finish first, we win the championship, then we go to Cuna de Campeones with Mini GP 110 that I remember also, again, was not easy at the beginning, but at the end of the season we achieved some podiums and these things. For this was good step. I think the next year also we repeated Mini GP, because was guys like Guevara, Holgado, Rueda, I think also riding there, and we at the end we win the championship, also the Spanish championship. At the end we do the step for the big track with Julián Miralles' team, Cuna de Campeones also, in Moto4. It's true that we don't start the championship because the bike was completely new and was like a test bike, and we finished third, competing with Rueda that win the championship, Holgado that was second, I think somebody else that is now in the championship, and Julián helped us to do the step up to Pre-Moto 3. That was not easy for us because we didn't come from a rich family or something like this, you know. And I remember that him and Circuit Ricardo Tormo helped us a lot to can.
They do a lot for young with the Cuna de Campeones, like you said. There's a lot of stuff there, isn't there?
Yeah, and they helped us a lot this first year in Pre-Moto 3 because it was quite tough for us to achieve 20,000 euros or something like this. Was not so big price, but was tough for us. It's true that they helped me a lot. Also we was competing with guys like Baltus, Felon, Huertas that now is 300 championship, 300 champion.
And Supersport next year, I think. Yeah.
With Ducati, maybe. Guys like this, you know, the level was so high, and we achieved the championship. We win it. And was the moment that we don't know if do, because these days was the first or the second year of European Talent Cup in the FIM. We didn't know what to choose, and at the end we go for Moto3 Junior World Championship. It's true that I didn't start the year because I don't have the ages, and was for sure the toughest.
The level there is so high.
Yeah, and the problem that I was so young. I mean, I remember that Raúl Fernández win this season the championship. Maybe it was 18 or 17.
I think it was 18, but
and I was 14. I mean, 4 years is quite a lot. I mean, I remember that I ride with guys that come from the World Championship, like Pagliani, was Raúl there, was Alcoba, was Sergio, somebody else that was strong, and now I don't really remember. But the level was so high. Also, the guys was older than me. Was tough to analyze. Also, the team, we have some problems at the end of the year with the money, and at the end we didn't finish the year. And that was tough because it was the last bullet in my gun, you know, go to the Rookies Cup selection event. If everything goes well, I ride next year. If not, we have to stop. Okay. At the end.
I feel like this is a similar story to some people, like Augusto, who'll be your teammate again. When you get to that final, like this is the final chance. Joan Mir told us a similar thing before, where it's like you have to perform because you don't have money, resources, and anything to keep paying if you don't.
Yeah, and the problem, you know, it's quite tough for a guy that a season don't go that you expect. Also, know that if in one day you decide your life. I mean, I remember that I said to my father, don't worry, I'm gonna entry. I'm sure. If not, I destroy the bike. I mean, was everything or nothing for this. I always say that I am super grateful for the Rookies Cup because they really get me the opportunity, because if not, maybe today I go like a fisherman like my father, you know. For sure, I don't like this life. I mean, but they helped me a lot. Also, when I lose the opportunity to come to the championship in 2020, they say to me, okay, if you don't have anything for the World Championship, you can ride one more year here. At the end, Red Bull and KTM always was really pushing to me. Like I said before, first year I was vice champion.
You had injury struggles in one of them, didn't you? Was it the first year?
No,
or was that in Junior GP?
Was in Junior GP before I started the season.
Yeah, that was it.
Before I started the season in 2020, I broke one part of my knee, and it was good because also was the COVID and everything was stopped.
So you're just at home like, yeah, actually, wait a bit longer.
Yeah. But like I say, the second year of the Rookies Cup was amazing. At the end, I make friendship that I have at the moment. I really enjoy riding this bike. Was, to be honest, the best ever championship I ever ride. That you see the talent, and also it's everything the same. I mean, you cannot say that one guy have advantage. No, at the end, like I said, I really enjoy this year. I really feel the support from KTM and also from Red Bull when I lose the team to come to the World Championship. For this, I am super grateful for them.
So talking about that then, like we said, when you went from rookie Moto3 record-breaking champion to Moto2, you found that a bit of a tougher thing to accept. What about in rookies? It's kind of the other way around. Because when you arrived in rookies, you're like, oh, I'm immediately one of the fastest people here every weekend. How is that in your head?
Well, it was, at the end, the problem now that I don't know how is the World Championship without have a camera behind, you know, because I remember that in the IRTA from Qatar, maybe...
It's a test, right?
Yeah, IRTA test. We was not so bad. I think we finished second behind Jaume.
I like how second is already not so bad.
Not so bad, it was not so bad. But then we arrived to the race. I finished second, and I remember that my phone deployed because the Instagram do like boom, 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 boom. And I remember that I cannot switch on the screen, but the phone was like, and I have to buy a new one. But I mean, I don't really know how is the championship without pressure. No, at the end.
Do you wish you did, or are you?
No, at the end is what it is. At the end, you get, every year you get more normal, these things, no? It's true that, for example, in Instagram, I remember that I passed to have maybe 5,000 to have 80,000 was like boom, you know. Also was a shock for everybody, you know. In Spain, around the world, for the fans was quite impressive, no. But to be honest, maybe without this year, I couldn't mature like I do it, no. At the end, I have to take out some steps from the stairs and go directly to know how to manage the pressure, to know how to manage what I say to the cameras, because sometimes I do some mistakes, but also I need to improve my English so fast. Watch everything too fast, but better like this, no?
I mean, I would say so, but I have no experience of being in that situation. Tell us what the feeling was like. I'll move on to Moto2 and now obviously new adventure in MotoGP. What was the feeling like in pit lane, waiting to start that race? Did you really think like, oh, I'm gonna go and win this, and then I'm gonna win the championship, and I'm gonna blow everyone's minds, or what was your kind of?
At the end, it's true that this year I learned a lot from my Moto3 season, because maybe at the end I get a lot of pressure on my shoulders, and was not the correct way, you know. For this year I am more calm. This year I'm more thinking in just enjoy and try to don't do a stupid mistake, because we see last race we make a big one. But
on Friday morning though, if you're going to make your stupid mistake, your words,
yeah.
Friday morning's probably...
Friday mornings. No, but like I say, I learned a lot from this year. Is the most important, because maybe if not today I have the same problem. Now I try to don't think about that. Don't think about that. I talk also with Hervé and I say, okay, don't say me nothing about MotoGP. No, because at the end, I think we have a big target to complete in Moto2. We have some small target also to do it in Moto2 if we can end like we want it. Like this, I think I want to enjoy my last 5 races in Moto2. At the end, it's a dream. It's a dream come the first year to the World Championship with a factory KTM rider. It's amazing to be 3 years in Red Bull KTM Mayo. At the end, I grew up with them, you know, and for this I was really pushing to have the 5th bike in MotoGP, you know, to try to take all my team to the MotoGP class, but was tough. Sometimes the life is not easy for anyone for this. I understand, for sure. Was my ideal dream, but it's what it is.
It's still a dream, I'm sure, compared to when you're starting out and you're at the back of Group B. It's pretty incredible now. You're like, I'd say one of the fastest. I mean, Fabio Quartararo had a lot of hype, attention. Everyone's always obsessed with finding the new Marquez. I would prefer that we have Marquez, you, Fabio, anyone else who appears, and everyone is left to be themselves, because I don't think anyone is ever going to be a replica. But it's interesting how it's gone so quick, but you've learned everything from it, styled it out.
At the end, I have to say that I never have real pressure, you know. At the end, nobody say never to me, hey, you have to win this race, you know. At the end, I have to say that I am so lucky to have Aki's group behind me. At the end, I come here being a shy guy, trying to talk with anyone. At the end, I learn how is the life with them. I mean, I'm mature with them. I learn how is the life with them. I maybe know how to enjoy the life with them. I mean, for this, maybe Aki have the key, you know, to...
It's funny how a lot of riders say this, and then every now and then, for one rider, it just won't work. What is it for you that makes the team work so well, and what makes it such a great group?
At the end, you don't have to think about the work. You have to need to think about the life. I mean, I am one that I like it a lot being in the box, go out to have the lunch or the dinner, go, like I say, to do surf, to go to the zoo together. I mean, we don't have to think in the work, because we start to think that this is a work, maybe it's the end of the dream, you know. For this, I try just to enjoy. At the end, they know that they are so important for me. At the end, I get the team like a family. I mean, I say also to Thomas from the team, that is the one that prepared all the trainings in Barcelona and everything. And I say, when I know that I was gonna go to MotoGP, I say, Thomas, but if I go to MotoGP, I can go also to train with you. And at the end, it's much more the relationship that you have with the person, that not what work is doing this person. I mean, they are so important for me. I am the last 3 years with them. It's just one part of my life.
It's like genuine teamwork, not the PR friendly version, but genuinely working, living, everything together.
Yeah, at the end, I am one that I have also a relationship with the team from my teammate. I mean, if this is a team, it's a team. It's nothing changes. You are working for the other guy. I mean, they are, to be honest, they are so in my hair. At the end, I grew up with them. I mean, for this, I think are one of the biggest and truest relationships I never have been.
Okay, well, that's nice. I like that, because I think it's just, I don't know, good vibes.
Yeah, at the end, if we have to cry together, we are gonna cry, and if the day that we have to laugh because we win, we laugh and win, and we shake the champagne, you know, for this. They see sometimes me maybe a little bit in the mud, I mean, but anyway, they are the ones that are pulling me up, you know.
I do. So I have to ask you one thing. You're saying you're shy when you arrived.
Yeah.
But you immediately, the first thing you ever said in a MotoGP press conference was one of the best things in the past 10 years. Do you remember what you said?
I know.
When I answered, my ass was like this.
I remember.
Literally, we use that now quite a lot. If we're nervous, then we'll say, yeah, when I entered, my ass was like this.
No.
It was amazing, but...
Yeah, at the end, I need
relaxed.
to say something to take out the pressure. I mean, the problem that, imagine 16 years old guy, he arrived to the championship 2 months ago, he win the last 3 races, and you have a camera behind you, going to a press conference, talking with Marquez, talking with Quartararo, talking with, I think Paul was there.
Yeah, because it was a mix when we used to have a mix, and you were there because obviously.
Yeah, and was tough to analyze everything in my head for this. I say, fuck, I need to say something to take out the pressure, you know?
Well, it was the best thing.
Yeah, also when I see everybody laughing, I say, okay, now I can control a bit the situation, you know? It's one thing that one mechanic from Suzuki in the past said to me, remember that the media cannot control you. You have to control the media. I mean, like this, if you have good relationship with the guys from the media, if you have a good relationship with the fans, if you have a good relationship with the people that is out of your team around the communication, everything are gonna be easier. I mean, we can be so cold sometimes, but everybody have a heart in his chest, you know, for this. Sometimes it's better to have a smile all the day and try to laugh with the others that have to be serious.
That's interesting you say that, because from our perspective, obviously you are very committed to and appreciative of Red Bull and KTM, but from our perspective as well, you've been so smart in how you've answered the last, 3-4 months of when people like us from the championship, but also the media, everyone. I'm sure it must have been very annoying because it's just the same question every week. But do you think about that then? Do you think, how I'm going to answer this? What effect is it going to have? Not just what do I want to say, but what do I want to cause?
No, at the end, I try to don't think about that. For the media, I try to be transparent. I mean,
just normal.
Yeah, I mean, it's what the fans wanted to see. I mean,
100%.
When we
this is why we still remember the ass was like
when
this.
We have here Valentino. He was exactly the same boy that he is in his house. I mean, we have to say a stupid thing. We have to laugh. We have to cry. We are human. I mean, at the end, it's true that sometimes some media is really trying to see the how to say in English, el titular,
find a headline.
Yeah, for this. Sometimes you have to try to manage this because depend how you read can mean one thing or can mean other one. It's true that I always say what I have in the hair. I mean, the last 3 or 4 months I always say that KTM pay all my career, and that's true. They pay everything since I was in the Rookies Cup, and I have to be grateful about that. But also I need to.
You want to know what you're doing in January and in November.
No, but I mean, I need to transmit to all the fans that are behind the TV what is my feeling at the moment, what I'm thinking at the moment, what is the reality here. Because the most of the families cannot come to the paddock and see what is the real MotoGP war. I mean, for this I try to really connect with the fans. I try to really have a close relationship with the fans. I mean, this is what we wanted in the championship. I mean, you cannot imagine what is for a Spanish rider go to Jerez and see all the stand full of people. I mean, we need this in all the tracks. That's it.
Well, I mean, I think we're all excited to hear you say that because literally from that first quote, and then ever since it's just been like, this guy gets it on every level. Not that others don't, but you just immediately just rolled with it, still fast as well.
Yeah, no, at the end, to be honest, I know what is be a fan, you know, because not too many years I was a fan.
Right, this is what I think it's easy to forget sometimes.
You know, and now I am doing what I want to see in the TV if I continue being a fan. I mean, the people want celebration. The people want to see...
Come on, bring them. We want to see some stuff.
I think this weekend we have one.
Really?
Yeah, not so grateful, but something easy. No, but the people want to see celebration. The people want to have battles. Now we see that everyone are so friendly and we have a good relationship with everybody. The people want to see battle like Pedro and Lorenzo, Marquez and Rossi, Lorenzo with Marquez, Rossi with Biaggi, Rossi with Sete. The people want this. At the end, it's like Verstappen when he is so aggressive in Formula 1. The people want to see this. You know, at the end, we need to show it.
Well, I think we've now got a minute left on the time. I've not done any of the fan questions yet.
Don't worry, yeah.
So it's now going to be a quick fire ending to this. Because, you know, I don't want to interrupt a bit of gospel there. So the first one was from Twitter, from Jesse Messi NL. I was going to ask you at the start, but you started on another. Didn't want to interrupt you. How much are you looking forward to next season, which will be your debut season? What are your expectations?
No expectation. No expectation. At the end, last year I have a lot of expectation in Moto2 and I start to have crashes because I get a lot of pressure on myself. Now I just think to go out, enjoy, try to learn from Augusto. If we can arrive to his level, try to learn from Jack, from Danny, that they are showing a big level with the bike.
Brad?
And
Brad?
Also.
You missed one out there.
No, I mean, we have to try to learn from everyone, also understand how is the electronic goings, also the wings, also the aerodynamics, because I think if we start to understand everything from beginning, we can do a big...
Put it all together and go.
And go, yep.
Okay, well, we'll see. No expectations.
No expectations.
So, like I said to you, I think before we started recording, the number one question, I don't know why everyone is quite so obsessed with this, but this one we've gone from Fatih Gaming, I think. What number will you use in MotoGP? That one's from Instagram. It was like 40–50% of your fan questions.
For sure not 37. For sure not 37 is something that hurt in my chest, but at the end...
Because you said you didn't like using 51 either, right, in MotoGP?
No, because the same like I said to you.
It wasn't a good...
It was not good remembers. But anyway, maybe I'm going to be something so similar to 37. So similar.
So similar to 37?
Yeah. So similar.
So similar?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's not going to be 73.
Marquez is ready.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. 36, I feel like.
Mir.
Oh, yeah, of course. 38, Bradley Smith come back?
No.
Fair enough.
So similar. Imagine in your head 37 and start to move numbers.
Try my best. Okay, I might have just got it, but I don't spoil it.
Yeah.
So, from Beatriz Pereira or Pereira da Sil, not sure where to separate those words. What is your favourite food? That's an easy question.
For sure, depending where we are. Because
I think this changes a lot, right?
Yeah, because in Japan, maybe all the nights we go for a sushi, this typical Japanese bar with sushi. It's true that we destroy all the bars. 20 people every day go there, boom, 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 boom. But if I have to choose a cheat meal, we are gonna say this because it's more general. The burger is one of my favorite ones.
Everyone says burgers.
Yeah,
I'm
better than pizza.
Really? No.
I think so.
I don't know. Maybe it's like the British, now I live in Spain, but the British background is so hard to find a genuinely proper pizza in the UK. Maybe that's why I'm like, how could you betray it? And then one from Nigo4, what's your favourite subject at school? Was there one?
First of all, I didn't finish school because I have to come here.
Don't say that.
But, I mean, we have to say the truth.
I think you're doing okay though.
One day I will try to come back. Maybe one day. I only have to do 1 year.
Just missing that 1 year.
Yeah. For this, maybe history, I was not so bad to remember everything and was quite interesting, understand what's happened in the past. And also, like I say, I was quite good if I have to remember the information. Not like math, this was completely destroyed. I mean, it was so difficult for me to understand how to do numbers. I mean, impossible. Cross. No.
Really? Okay, that's a really strong reaction to maths. I feel like everyone says that. I love maths. My brain works with maths and languages.
For me, it's true that the languages was so easy for me because since I arrived to the championship, I think the English will improve a lot and also Italian. But
you have to use them as well, right?
Yeah.
That's the #1 thing if you want to learn a language.
Yeah. Was easy, to recap all the information in the head for this maybe history.
Okay, so final question from Shokdar46. I'm sure they have an answer they want you to give. Who is your inspiration?
Myself. No, to be honest, at the end, the inspiration I think is something that everyone understands in different way. I mean,
do you have like a hero or?
At the end, it's true that I really like it how Casey was in the years that he was here, Stoner. Swans, I really like it how he was riding, and also now I have a lot of relationship with Remy, and I like it how he have this, how he think about life, how he's thinking about the ways of the life that everything changed, and but I think the inspiration is quite difficult to say one. I mean, one day you can wake up so inspired and go for it and everything is good and this, but other day you wake up and you don't want to go out from bed. I mean, and you have to do it. For this, the only target that I have is be better than myself. At the end, I know that I was quite heavy with this, but I was always thinking what I did, how I did mistake in the past. Like I say, in Moto3 I was thinking a lot in the championship at the end of the year. Last year I get a lot of pressure on my shoulders about the mistake from last weekend in Indonesia. I know that this is not so good sometimes, but it's something that helped me to be in alert all the day, because at the end it's something that I say, remember to don't do this, remember to don't do that.
This is the thing. I think if you obsess over mistakes, they can drive you a little bit crazy. But if you use them as a reminder of how to not do it again.
It's a reminder. It's a reminder. At the end, you cannot be angry with yourself 24 hours every day of the year, because if not, you get crazy. I mean, but it's a reminder, it's an alarm to be always ready, always prepare to can resolve any problem. For this, I get myself like inspiration.
Okay, well, that's a good answer. I still remember the typo I made of your name in 2020 when I accidentally called you Pedro Acosta.
Yeah.
And that's every time I type your name now, I think, no, Pedro.
Pedro. Pedro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure.
The first one was my favorite.
See, you're
No, I really enjoy these things.
I really like, especially because you're like a newer presence in a lot of ways, but it's nice because we've not had an episode for a while as well, where it's like, so tell me, like, how did you end up here?
No, at the
like,
end,
it's all fresh.
It's what I say always with our team coordinator, Laura. Before come to the team, she put my name in Google and they say, let's see what this kid do it. And he write MotoGP World Champion. I say, wow, so fast, you know? No, at the end, I really like these things. I also look in YouTube some in Spanish, but not from racing. But I really like these things. I really like these things.
Well, it was, yeah, genuinely great to talk to you. Great to get a bit more of your perspective on stuff. Very excited about the celebration. Excited for the number reveal. And as is now tradition,
yeah,
I'll sign off with, see you on Sunday.
See you Sunday.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Pedro.